We are pumped to be here. We are Mitesh and Sonali Chudasama, blessed to be sponsored by Hitesh and Payal Chudasama. That's right, I said it. And we're here to co-host with...
Hey guys, we're Michael and Kelsey Beaupre. I can't compete with Mitesh. I mean, the energy this guy has. I mean, oh my goodness. Okay. We're Michael and Kelsey Beaupre. We are proudly sponsored by Mason Alley Eddie Sapphires, part of the Klickner Diamond Ship. And you guys, we're excited to kick off here and talk about why are we here? Why did we choose? Why did these couples choose to build a business like this? Why are we here this weekend? And we have so much respect for you two. Some of you guys know how good looking they are, and like you cheer loud for them. But we have a ton of, most people don't, some people don't know your backgrounds, right? I mean, you guys, Mitesh, you come from a very successful family in real estate, very, very successful. I mean, most people talk about real estate. This family's actually built wealth in real estate. But then, Sonali, you've built a very successful career. So why? What did you guys see here? Let's talk about this for folks. What did you see here that you didn't have in your careers and your family businesses that you said, hey, we're going to commit to this?
Well, thank you, Michael and Kelsey. That was awesome. Great. Well, first off, I want to just give a huge shout out to my wife. She just had a baby 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this woman's an absolute beast. So I'm super proud of her. But to jump into our topic, right? The biggest thing for us was a couple of things. The first thing was impact. You know, we came from successful backgrounds, just like Michael and Kelsey. You guys have awesome backgrounds as well. But one of the biggest things that we couldn't get in our careers was an impact on other people. And coming into this environment, I mean, just for us to be able to stand on this stage together, this is a dream come true. This would never have been possible in our jobs, right? Do they invite you on stage at your job?
Absolutely not. Yeah, the reason why we decided to build this business versus our job was that we understand obviously the impact, but we also wanted choices. We didn't want someone else to control our lives. And like they mentioned, like we had really good backgrounds, but we just knew that the impact that we can make on someone is so huge. Like sometimes you pick your profession, like being in the medical field or being a teacher because you want to impact people. But here is 360-degree mentorship. We help people in all areas of our lives. And I'm so thankful for our uplines, Hitesh and Payal. We just understood the magnitude of this business and the environment that this opportunity can give us. So some of you guys are fairly new, and that's amazing. Congratulations, welcome on being here. But understand, do not let distraction get in the way of this function. Your goal is to get a lot out of this function. Put your phones away, clear your mind, and make sure that you're here and you're listening, and stop looking at social media, stop comparing your lives with other people, because the moment you do that, you don't understand how it could really impact you, and it could impact you so much that you won't make the most out of this. And you paid good money to be here, so make sure you get a lot out of it.
So what about you, Michael and Kels? You guys obviously had great careers.
So yeah, I mean, we actually got launched in business very logically. Kels was going to PA school. It cost us 120 grand that we didn't have. So we said, hey, 2 streams of income, multiple streams of income, better than 1. Anyone agree with that? Right? So I don't know if we really had like this big vision, big dream, if we're being honest. I was just like, there's some successful people in here. That's why we got started. But let me tell you, why we made a commitment to grow something significant here is exactly like you guys said. It was the values. We saw great marriages in this environment. We saw great family dynamics in this environment. We saw people doing things for the right reasons, the right way, truly putting people before profits. I got sick and tired of being in the corporate world and having people in the HR world say these nice things and then you didn't actually see it happen. When I got in this environment, I saw the values and I saw all the leaders live them out. I saw the people out there. When I went to my first conference like this, you guys, I'm an introvert. I was sitting in the back and I'm like, if I saw a guy like Mitesh, I'd be like, what is wrong with him? But I saw the values. And we looked at each other, we got married young, we said, man, that's the values we want in our life. And so that's what made us grounded. And so we said, it wasn't like this, hey, maybe some of you come this weekend and it will change your life and you go out and grow something big, please do that. That was not Michael and Kelsey. It wasn't our first conference, it wasn't our second. It was the commitment to root ourselves in this community that started to change us and started to make us believe, hey, the values that we had, we could make them come to life in this environment. And we didn't feel that in our careers, even though we had good careers. I mean, you were a PA, Kelsey had one of the best PA jobs out there, but we saw the value here. Do you want to share anything on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely debt was a huge motivator for us. But then, yeah, it was controlling our time. I think about Michael. He has one of those jobs that's unlimited PTO, right? Does anyone have any of those? And you're like, oh,
That's
this
bogus.
is so sweet. I'm going to have this unlimited vacation time. But what we were thinking about is we were reflecting on why did we start this business? Michael shared on that, debt, and then eventually it was values and choice and things. But the key is you have to come back to why you started your business. That's why we started our business. But I imagine as you were going through a process, you probably got challenged to think about, what do you want to do with your life? If you could be doing anything, what would you work to be doing with your life? And that's what you need to continue to come back to when the struggles come. It has not been sunshine and rainbows the whole time for the four of us. It looks great now, right? And the little babies, life is good PV checks coming in, but we still have that fall out of a process.
Yep.
We still have a customer who decides to cancel their Ditto or whatever, or volume goals that we don't end up hitting. And it hits harder, I think, at first when you're newer in your business journey. And that's what you have to come back to is, why the heck am I even running a business to begin with? You want to have your game plan, you want to go after your goals, but if you lose sight of the vision that you actually want for your life, those little bumps in the road that you saw so much potential and you're like, this is my first platinum, and they fall out because they can't handle Amway or whatever it is, right? You let that get to you, and now they're stealing your dream. They're stealing the life that you can have for yourself and for future generations if you choose to. So Michael and I are constantly coming back to, why did we start this business? And that helps us get through some of those challenging times.
Yeah. So you guys talk about that. Talk about, hey, why you stayed rooted here. When you came to conferences like this, because you've been to many like us, right? What do you try to get out of here? And what's your mindset coming into an event like this? And what do you try to extract from it?
Yeah, big thing for us, coming into an ecosystem like this, I didn't come from a sports background. Any athletes in the room? Any non-athletes in the room? Yeah, those are my people right there. So I never belonged to a team before I came into this environment. And all the athletes on our team say, man, this business is like when I was a part of my football team or a part of my basketball team. It's the same feeling. It's the camaraderie. It's the brotherhood. It's the sisterhood. And for us, we feel that. This is a for life thing for us. This isn't a career. This is like what we're doing with our lives. So a big thing for us was community, being able to run with like-minded people, a place where we can grow a family, right? We can build a family in this environment. We feel so secure. If our daughter or future kids walk into this environment, they're going to be just fine, right? They're going to be taken care of. I thought that was so cool. Lifestyle. We wanted to have an incredible lifestyle. But the biggest thing coming out of this whole event for us was we wanted to extract as much as we could from it. I think one of the hosts was saying earlier, some people come to a conference like this and they'll pay and they'll walk away with maybe $20 worth of content because they just weren't focused. They weren't dialed in. They weren't paying attention. And we came to these events and man, I couldn't tell you how many times I had to hold it instead of running to the bathroom. I was like, man, I got to listen to every single nugget. Anybody done that at the movies? You stay planted. You don't want to miss the movie. That's how we were here. We didn't want to miss a beat. If someone was on stage speaking, we weren't in the hallways and in the lobbies talking to somebody who wasn't on stage. We wanted to be right here in this room. So being focused, I think that was a big thing for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And this event is very different from any other event you'll ever go to. Like some of you guys may go to concerts or like go watch, the Hamilton or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't really make an impact into your life, right? Besides you being really good at singing or learning how to share a play part or whatever. But here, you actually could be a sponge and learn from people that already is successful in the field that you're trying to succeed in. So understand that the people that are on here have gone through more no's than you. So you really want to be dialed in so that you can go through some of the things that they have gone through and beat it even faster, right? Like, why do you have a mentor? Well, guess what? Today, you have a ton of people to learn from. So make sure you absorb everything. Like Mitesh said, you can run to the restroom. That's totally totally fine, but it's not time for you to have chit chats outside of the room, because if you're having chit chats outside of the room, then why are you even paying to be here, right? So make sure that you get a ton out of this. I started this opportunity at a very young age, and I didn't come from a whole lot. You know, they say when you may be born poor, but you can't die poor. If you die poor, it's your fault. So for me, when I was in your seat, I knew I had to take a ton of notes, and I had to implement everything that I learned this weekend, because I didn't want to live the life that my friend circle was living. And I didn't want to be the average person that everybody else is taught to be. So make sure that you know why you're here and why you do what you do. You made the decision to be here, so make sure you get the most out of it, right? And understand that this event is very different from every other event that you went to, like I shared earlier, because there's nothing like this community. So anyways, yeah.
Can I just hit on that? Because I do believe we undervalue this event. It was probably one of our big mistakes in our first year or two in this community. You guys understand, look at the world outside. Look at the entertainment industry. Look at TikTok, social media, sports, news, politics. Their agenda is not to help you get closer to your values. Have you ever noticed that? It's for temporary entertainment and a dopamine hit. But some of you in this room have been making the mistake that you're more excited about the Final Four going on right now. Okay, listen, I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. She's my girl, right? But whether or not she scores 40 points tonight and makes it to the finals, the championship game, whatever the headline is on ESPN later tonight, whether it was the game of the century, it is not going to affect my marriage. It's not going to affect my little girls at home. It's not going to affect our wealth. It's not going to affect anything that matters to us. So you got to understand that when you're in this environment. And you got to cherish it. We get this a couple times a year, you guys. I could make an argument psychologically, our brains need this every 2 weeks for me to stay on track. I'm just as lazy as the next guy. I mess up. I scroll too much. I could use one of these every 2 weeks, but we only get it a couple times a year. Are you going to treat it that way? Are you going to cherish it? Are you going to soak it in? Are you just going to walk around like a lost puppy? We're going to do breakout rooms, guys. Ownership. Don't please go, oh, I missed the breakout. I didn't know where it was. Own it. Go get the value. Cherish every moment of this. Track people down who you want to be like and learn from them. That's all we did. And we saw our values start to come to life because, again, we rooted ourselves. We said, we're not going to miss a single one of these. We're going to be at every one we can.
Yeah. And we prioritized this weekend, right? You guys are here. You got your butts in the seats. You're here. You're ready to learn, taking notes. But now what are you going to do this next week and the week after and the week after and the week after? Because just one weekend isn't going to change your business. It's the decisions you're making daily to prioritize your business. There's so many things we could spend, Sonali and I could spend our days doing. We could just look at our little baby girls because they're so cute, and we could spend all of our time doing that. But we know that we want to create a beautiful life for them, so we have to prioritize running a business. I want you to think about what's a decision that you're going to make this week that you haven't made before to actually prioritize your business higher. An example today, so we're hopping on the plane. I was psyched to get on a plane and have this uninterrupted time. Our flight was kind of early, but I'm like, I can't wait to buy Wi-Fi on the plane and crush our business in peace and quiet. And I opened that thing and I'm like, oh, it's $19 for Wi-Fi. How many of you wouldn't have paid for Wi-Fi? A lot, probably, right? But I said, this is cheaper than what I pay my babysitter to come watch my girls so I can go run my business. I am getting a steal of a deal. Everyone else is sleeping around me, and I said, this is my time to outbeat my competition. So what kind of decisions are you making every day when your coworkers are going out for happy hour and you decide to go network? When someone's going to bed and you say, you know what, I haven't read yet today, I'm going to pull out my book. When you're feeling a little bit drained, it was just one of those days, just things weren't really going your way, but instead you decide to call your coach. Because you know that's what you need, and you have to prioritize your business. It will not pay you like a business if you don't prioritize it like a business. You treat it like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby.
That was fire. Wow.
So why did you guys decide to prioritize this business with your crazy schedule? Like, you guys have two beautiful girls and you have a crazy career. Obviously, you still hire a nanny to watch your girls to go networking and do meetings. Like, what made you guys decide to do that?
So again, we saw the values here, but I think anytime you do something great in life, it becomes a responsibility. If you're serious about the values you say, like we didn't want to just say, oh, we're family people. we value our family, we want to be great parents, we want to be great marriage. But then if you looked at our life, you actually didn't see us doing that. In our mind, that this business could unlock that at so many levels. Again, we've been around successful people, successful surgeons, successful CEOs of companies. I mean, I report to people who make 7-figure incomes, but I don't want their lifestyle because they don't have the marriages that I see here. They don't have so we didn't have any other options. So I think is how it was. I was looked around and I was like, well, hey, if someone else could teach me something to do to live like these people live, like maybe I'd be open to it, but I haven't found it. And so we said, we root ourselves here, and we got uncomfortable because we had a responsibility to follow through on the values that we had. And if we were real with ourselves, we didn't have any other options.
Yeah, and I think this was going to be our biggest opportunity to make an impact, like you were saying, Sonali, of like everyone wants to make an impact. And I could make an impact in healthcare, working as a PA, but I'm like, my options of helping someone with their knee pain versus helping someone with their finances, their relationships, to be able to be more available for their family was so much more motivating. And the talk of our household is, it's game on to start Emerald qualifications. I just feel his brain is way too powerful to be spent working, right? To be spent investing time into someone else. And so that's the talk of our household. So I'll have you guys wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely. We understood that we had to put the business in the center of our lives, and we made decision based on this business. Like, we planned our wedding date based on the function dates. We do we have calculated our lives.
We had our baby.
Go ahead.
Based on the function date.
Yeah, actually today is my daughter's due date, and we were speaking. I know this sounds really crazy, but we spoke every single day in our self-talk. She's gonna come early so I attend the function. And she was still in my belly, and we bought my function ticket because we make commitments, we make decisions based on our priorities and our values. Some of us make commitments based on someone else's values, and that's the problem. You have to learn how to make commitments and decisions based on what you stand for and how you're rooted, right? So for us, we put the business in the center because everything else does not matter, and we knew we had to lean on this business one day because one day you're gonna need this income. Ganesh always says that you have to dig your well before you're thirsty, because when you're thirsty, you might not be able to dig. And anything that happens in our lives, we have the time, we have the finances because of this business, because of mentorship. We are product of this environment. Are you going to come out of this room and be a product of this environment?
This is a copyrighted program of The Collective, powered by Markerman Productions, affiliated with Markernet Incorporated. Duplication of this program is strictly prohibited. While the techniques and approaches suggested have worked for others, no one can guarantee that these techniques and approaches will work for you. In addition, we want to emphasize that success in this business does not come without hard work. For existing IBOs only, not for use with prospects. The ideas presented